This week we're going to start in the Premier League. You would imagine I wanted to talk about Manchester City going to Anfield, beating Liverpool and taking the Premier League title race by the scruff of the neck. But no, there was a bigger story in England, a little more macabre, a little more unfortunate, something you wouldn't want to talk about, but we must. It's VAR. And in the game between Fulham and West Ham late on, free kick, Thomas Souček of West Ham was lined up. He backed up. His arm went in the air. His hand clipped the face of Alexander Mitrovic. Mitrovic fell to the ground. The VAR official alerted Mike Dean, who took a look at it and said, it's a red card, threw out Souček. Everyone reacted on social media. No one could believe it. Even Alexander Mitrovic told David Moyes, the manager, afterwards, it was an accident. Everyone knew it was an accident. But this is the problem with VAR. So players, fans, managers, we look at the game for the game. The goals, the saves, the passes. We're immersed into that. Referees have a different perspective. They have a book, and the book says this is how we have to interpret the laws, and there's no wiggle room. If someone's hand is up and it clips someone in the face, whether it's accidental or not, it's a red card. And we have to move from this because it's killing the game. I've always been an opponent to VAR, but I've learned to live with it and said it's here to stay. But maybe not. People are upset, and the way they implemented it in England, where they hit you for every indiscretion, it doesn't matter, and the game is coming to a screeching halt. This was a travesty, and it snowballs, and it gets worse. We just need common sense for the guy to go, clearly that's an accident, and not say, well, if his hand's in the air, it shouldn't be. Look, stop, please. It's killing the game. Let's pick up the spirits here. Talking about the Americans in Europe, it was a bit of a quiet week. The big news: Christian Pulisic not in the 18 for Chelsea. We were all worried when we saw the lineup card, but Thomas Tuchel would say, the manager, Christian has some family issues to resolve. We decided to give him a rest for this game. So that was okay. He's obviously got some things to work on, but he hadn't started the prior two games. Looks like a bit player. And now this. And the players he's competing with for playing time are playing well. Mason Mount, even Timo Werner, they are part of a team that's won 3 straight. And Thomas Tuchel's winning, and everyone's happy. But what happens to our guy Christian? This is a crossroads moment for him. It's going to be really important to see when he comes back what happens, because right now he is on the outside looking in, and that's not good for a guy arguably the best player, American player out there. Serginho Dest didn't start for Barcelona. He's not getting the playing time he once did. Quiet in a lot of other positions, although Tyler Adams started. You had also 70 minutes start for Gio Reyna. Positive things defensively in the Bundesliga. John Brooks, another 90 minutes, another clean sheet for Wolfsburg. They win at Augsburg. He is an anchor now in our defense. Lock him in. And now Chris Richards, on loan from Bayern to Hoffenheim, where he's going to get a lot more playing time. Started in a back three as a left back. He can play out wide. He can also play centrally. Maybe we can envision him and Brooks as the pairing central defensively moving forward. He has all the tools. Hoffenheim lost to Eintracht Frankfurt 3-1, so they didn't have a good defensive effort, but he's going to get those minutes to keep Hoffenheim buoyant in the Bundesliga. So that was a good development. Swansea, Jordan Morris coming off the bench. We await the arrival of Paul Areola also there. Swansea beat Norwich, who were first in the championship, so now Swansea now third, just 2 points off the lead, looking for promotion. Really interesting story with Daryl Dike, who was playing for the University of Virginia just a year ago, and then he went to Orlando in the draft, and now he's on loan at Barnsley, and now there's reports that Premier League clubs are monitoring him. So if he comes out and starts to score some goals and do well, could you imagine that ascension from college player to Premier League player like this? It's happening so fast. Tim Weah is another interesting story. He came off the bench, was involved in one of the Lille goals. He's not playing a ton of minutes there, but Lille's first place in France. And he combined with Jonathan David, Canadian. We don't want to overlook our Canadian friends. They're doing very well too. So this is good for Tim Weah as well. So overall, it's good. I wanted to touch on FC Dallas too, because they got Weston McKennie, Brian Reynolds didn't play for Roma, but we expect to see him soon. Very exciting. And now even Justin Che, 17-year-old for FC Dallas, supposedly might be getting loaned to Bayern. So that academy off the charts. Even in a ho-hum week, it's still a great week for Americans. So I want to wrap things up with the FIFA Club World Cup. For the first time in its current format since 2006, a team from CONCACAF reached the final, Tigres beating Palmeiras. This is massive news because, well, look, Liga MX always represents us there. LAFC, my club, almost made it. But this is good news for the region. I'll tell you what, Palmeiras is going back to Sao Paulo, and they're going to be like, this is going to be tough for them. They are going to be grilled for losing to Tigres. And now a Mexican team in the final. Don't know what's going to happen in the second semifinal. We assume Bayern Munich's going to win. What a moment. And now this Club World Cup becomes a real competition because it's hard if it's always South America versus Europe in the final. What's the point? Why do you invite everyone else? Well, Tigres told you why. So a great achievement for Tuca Ferretti and Liga MX and CONCACAF winning it. 2 years ago, Chivas was there. They lost to Esperance of Tunisia to show you how far back they'd fallen. So this fixes everything. Great news there. Great news for Americans, not in Chelsea. And VAR, we got to fix it. And you subscribe to the soccer. We're getting to 1,000, all right? We're getting to 1,000 subs.